For those of you who don't know, Women's eNews is a daily online news service covering issues of particular concern to women nationally and internationally. 90 years ago, as you all know, women in the United States secured the right to vote, and this purple dress I have on was very carefully chosen to reflect the colors that the suffragists used to signify their dignity. And this necklace I have on, I wore specifically, it was made by women in Ethiopia who were living in a halfway house after they had fistula surgery. And I'm sure everyone here knows what fistula and how awful it is. And even though they had the surgery and were on their way to healing, they were still shunned in their villages, and then so they had to live in a halfway house and find a different way to make a living. So this day means a lot to all of us here and worldwide, because women, when I went in Saudi Arabia and was talking to the women journalists who had veils and I could only see their eyes, they asked me one question, which is, how on earth did women in the United States get the right to vote? And we know the answer, and it took 144 years of struggle. So today on Women's eNews, as you can see, we posted a commentary by Nancy Pelosi, the most powerful woman in the United States, bar none. And in a few minutes, I'm going to introduce the most powerful woman in New York City, Speaker Christine Quinn. And I'm sure she will also emphasize the importance and the significance of women's voting. Everyone, this is the long-awaited. We're delighted to
Thank you
for coming, Speaker Christine Quinn.
And I want to thank everybody who was part of making this movie, part of all of the different parts of today's celebration. Because I think it's easy to think that what we have, we always had. And sometimes it's easy to forget everything that went into centuries of struggle to get women and other communities to the point that we're at. And if you forget everything that happened before, I think a couple of things will happen. You'll be less able to see what lies ahead. And you'll be, if you do see it, baffled about how you could make it ahead. Because you'll forget those who came before who had it immensely more difficult than we did. And therefore, if you remember that, you'll see all of the turf we still have to cover, and it'll seem easy.
And so, on this particular day, we thank the women who sacrificed so much to gain that victory. Again, 144 years. And we celebrate those willing to serve in public office, Nancy as well as Speaker Quinn, and also reflect a commitment to women's well-being, and acknowledge that to assure the rights in the coming decades, women voters must be an active force in the Democratic and Republican primaries, and we must play to win.